The Indominus Rex, a pure killer which kills anything it comes into contact with, except one, a lone Carnotaurus named Toro. So why is this? The Indominus Rex was known to kill everything in its path, even just killing for sport. But when it comes into contact with a Carnotaurus, it seemingly goes to attack, but instead actually lets the Carnotaurus out of its holding pen. Now, there could be several reasons for this, and one of the reasons later on in the video will absolutely blow your mind. Now, as we know from Jurassic World movie, the Indominus Rex is able to communicate with the raptors from Jurassic World because it's made with velociraptor DNA, giving it the ability to take over the raptor pack and become the alpha. Now, not a lot of people actually know this, but the Indominus Rex was also made of Carnotaurus DNA. So because of this, it's presumed that it's able to communicate with Carnotaurus also. Hence why it doesn't attack the Carnotaurus straight out, it communicates and actually lets it out of the pen. And when I say communicate, I basically mean the Indominus Rex controls the other dinosaurs. But there are several problems wrong with this theory. We also know that the Indominus Rex is made up of Tyrannosaurus Rex DNA. So if it was able to communicate with the raptor pack and a Carnotaurus, why then did it not communicate with Rexy? Well, one of the explanations to this is the fact that Rexy is indeed an alpha predator and would never succumb to the communication / control of the Indominus Rex, leading them to actually fight each other like we see in the movie, whereas the raptor pack and the Carnotaurus are actually pack hunters and would need a leader. Hence why they listen to the Indominus Rex and fall under its wing. But again, there's something wrong with this theory. Wouldn't you think that Toro, being quite a large carnivore itself, wouldn't obey the commands of the Indominus Rex? So then why did Toro listen to the Indominus Rex? Well, there could be several reasons for this. The first one, like I said earlier, is the fact that the Carnotaurus are actually believed to have been pack hunters, and therefore would have likely have had a pack leader. So Toro could have quite easily accepted the Indominus as the pack leader, and if it didn't, the Indominus would have literally torn the Carnotaurus to shreds. Another reason is the fact that Toro's mental state could have also have been a factor. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, the Carnotaurus was never featured in Jurassic World as an exhibit, and that is because it was kept away from everything else due to its aggressiveness. It was actually never shown to the public. So the likelihood is it would have been kept in isolation, fed with the crane, very much like Indominus, and Toro's mental state would have definitely been affected by this. So perhaps the Indominus had realized this, being a super intelligent animal, noticed that they were very much similar. Toro was kept in isolation, the Indominus Rex was kept in isolation, and they both kind of had this mutual understanding. Now, Toro was made pure, well, as pure as they can be in Jurassic World, and what I mean by that is there was no hybrid splicing of Toro's DNA. So the DNA wasn't really a factor in being able to communicate with the Indominus because the Indominus Rex had Carnotaurus DNA. Now, as we know, the Indominus Rex actually lets Toro out of his enclosure, and so far we're all assuming this is because it either A, wants Toro to join the pack, or B, because the Indominus had that connection with it due to them both being mistreated. But one thing we haven't really thought of, and this may blow your minds, is the fact that the Indominus Rex actually let Toro out because it wanted to frame Toro for all the carnage on the island. Now, you might be thinking, how is that even possible? How could the Indominus Rex even think that far ahead? Well, think back to the Indominus Rex's intelligence level. It's able to plan and frame its own escape in the pen. That shows a high level of intelligence. So if it's able to frame its own escape, it's able to frame another dinosaur for carnage on the island. And as Owen Grady once said, animals raised in isolation aren't always the most functional. And the way we see Toro hunt the campers in Camp Cretaceous is simply brutal. I mean, he follows them everywhere, stalks his prey, and is almost as if it's got some type of mental instability, much like the Scorpius Rex did because of all the hybrid splicing, but we know Toro is a purebred dinosaur. The likelihood is the fact that all our pent-up aggression and rage from the mistreatment from Jurassic World would have likely have been taken out on the nearest human beings, and that was the campers at that point. So then why didn't Rexy go on an absolute killing rampage and kill everything in sight, much like the Indominus Rex or Toro? Well, an easy explanation to that is that Rexy probably was treated fairly well. She was probably the star attraction in Jurassic World up until obviously Indominus was going to be released, and would have been treated fairly well, fed well, kept in huge paddock, and very much looked after, as where Toro was mistreated, taken away from the public eye, away, kept in isolation in the restricted zone, and let's not even go into the Indominus Rex's mistreatment. Now, one of the other theories which I haven't mentioned is the fact that the Indominus Rex doesn't actually communicate that well with Toro and goes to attack him. We see the Indominus Rex attack the fence, as we said earlier, and instead Toro doesn't communicate and actually runs off and hides from the Indominus. Now, there are several things wrong with this theory. The fact that, one, if Toro did try and run away from the Indominus Rex is probably double its size, and not to mention a lot faster than Toro, and would easily track it down and kill it, which obviously never happened because Toro has been let out. And B, it sees in infrared. No matter where Toro chooses to hide, the Indominus would always find it. So for me, that alone shows that the Indominus Rex chose not to attack Toro and made an active decision to release it from its enclosure. Now, what is really interesting is the fact that if they communicated and Toro joined the Indominus Rex's pack, then wouldn't you expect to see the Carnotaurus following the Indominus Rex? Well, that never happened. We know that when the Indominus Rex communicated with the raptors, it took over alpha of the pack, and the raptors followed the Indominus under its command. So why then didn't Toro follow the Indominus Rex around the island just like the raptors did? Well, this actually brings me back to my previous theory, and I think really shows us and cements this as one of the true theories for what happened. The reason the Carnotaurus didn't follow the Indominus Rex as its alpha/leader is the fact that the Indominus Rex released Toro because it wanted it to escape, not because it wanted it to be part of its pack/control it. It released Toro because it felt that level of empathy, that connection. They were both mistreated, they were both kept in horrible pens, fed with cranes, kept in isolation, and the Indominus Rex probably recognized this fact and wanted to help its fellow dinosaur, so decided to let Toro out of his enclosure. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. The Indominus Rex was able to communicate with other dinosaurs. It was able to set up its own escape, fooling human beings, the most intelligent thing on the planet. So why wouldn't it be able to comprehend the mistreatment of another dinosaur? Well, to me, I think it really did. I think it comprehended what happened to Toro, felt sorry for it, and let it out of his enclosure to roam free. But also knowing the fact that Toro would take revenge on everybody else on the island, much like the Indominus Rex was doing. It knew that Toro had all that pent-up aggression, all that pent-up rage, and would seek revenge against its captors. That's what I personally believe happened with the communication between the Indominus Rex and Toro. But what do you think actually happened there? You have my breakdown and my theories, but please let me know yours in the comments below. I read every single comment, so let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, go check out all my other ones. You'll enjoy them. They're very much like this. And I'd like to thank my YouTube members as always. Thanks guys for supporting the channel. I couldn't do it without your help. And thank you for watching all the way through. I'm Shadows, and I'll see you in the next Jurassic World video.